Every day, I see more and more people wanting to improve their running. If you Google the term how to run faster, you'll come across lots of different websites, YouTube videos, and then you kind of wonder, what's the best way to go about doing this? These are the questions that I was asking myself in 2019. I was overweight, wasn't happy with where I was burned out from the sport, I had been injured many times, and I really just wanted to get back to the sport that I loved. I came across the Maffetone Method a number of years ago, probably 5 to be quite honest, and I never really thought about doing it. I thought it was kind of a cool idea, but I didn't really need it. I could continue to run the way I was running and I'd be perfectly fine, and that was until I wasn't fine. That was until 2019. By training my aerobic base, I would be able to burn fat, which I needed to get off because I'd gained quite a bit of weight, and then move to a process of running faster at the same heart rate. And I could measure this month after month after month. And in doing so, I would be happier, I would see the results, and I would want to continue. That's what I was thinking. So I decided to put it into action. The first thing I did was I looked up Dr. Phil Maffetone, and I realized that he had a book. So I started reading his book, and I realized that this was such a wealth of knowledge. And fairly quickly, I realized that I think I was going to have a little bit of fun at doing this. And I knew that there was going to be some obstacles. There's a lot of people that have goals that they want to achieve. And trying to find a goal that is going to be sustainable long-term and something that you enjoy, you want to be able to find that happy medium between the two of them. So I realized that I had a couple of challenges ahead of me because I knew that my ego was going to get in the way. That was one thing that's pretty evident with the way I was training. Running fast, getting injured, burning out, these are things that I know all too well. And I didn't want to experience that again. So this approach was going to be good, but I needed to deal with the ego, and I needed to put the ego in a box, hide it away, and really just ignore that little voice saying, hey, you got to run faster if you want to get faster. You have to be realistic in your expectations of what you're going to get out of this method. If you don't have the time to spend training, building up your aerobic engine, and you just want to run fast all the time, then this method really may not be for you, right? You may actually have to look at something different. For me, I had to figure out the importance of it and why I was doing it. So I wanted to lose weight. I wanted to get faster. I wanted to reduce the injuries. And I wanted, most importantly, to enjoy running again, because I had lost the love of running. And so I wanted to be out in nature enjoying the sport that I came to love and then lost the joy of because I was getting injured. Running slow and running long, I knew was not going to be a great mix for me at the beginning because I didn't know if I had enough time to train this way. Running the same route every single day and comparing how I was the day before, I knew was not going to be very helpful. I needed to figure out a different way of looking at this because really you're supposed to do your MAF test once every month and to see if you're increasing. Basically, your times should decrease the longer you run. And so I was running on the road and I was running the same route every single day and I was comparing my runs and I thought, this is not healthy. I needed to change it up. So I decided, after, I think it was like 4 months, I needed something different. We were coming out of winter, so I thought, this pandemic hit, I needed to kind of get on the trails. I needed to include some of that. And by adding in trail runs or changing my route that I would run every couple of days, it started to help me enjoy the run, and it wasn't just this comparison every single day, it was the same thing. So that was really important for me to be able to stay on track. Now running, as much as I was running, I started off running 30 kilometers a week and I slowly worked my way up to a point in the summer in June when I was running 160 kilometers. That's basically 100 miles. And so because I was being consistent, I was going out, doing the runs I needed to do, and I was just enjoying the process. What I found, the more consistent I got, the more I wanted to run, the more I started to run, the more I started to see results. And when I started to see results, I really started to get excited about this because I'm like, wow, this is possible. So as my mileage increased, my time on feet increased, and I was able to see some really, really cool results. I was really getting dialed in to exactly what I was hoping was going to happen. And I was getting faster. Now, as the summer months rolled around, I realized that, hey, you know what? Running a 50 miler is very, very possible because my mileage really started to increase as time went on. So like I had said, there's all kinds of different training. And so don't get me wrong, we need to mix it up from time to time. So I built my base for a period of time. I think it was like 8 months I worked on my base. I started to add in some tempo runs. In August, I added in some intensity. I went to the track and I did 800 meter repeats and I decreased my mileage. Wanted to stay safe. I thought, wow, this is really cool. Anything is now possible. So I'm going to get ready and I'm going to run my 50 miler. So I kind of worked my way up to that. And I all this training I did, all this elevation work that I did, right? Running up like, like I don't have a lot of mountains. Actually, I have no mountains. There's no mountains here. We got places called Blue Mountain, but it's not a mountain. It's a hill. It's Ontario. It was a long climb and I did a lot of training there and I got the elevation and the leg strength. Now, as I did that, I kind of built my body up. I got stronger. I can't eat all the crap that I was eating before and expecting to get the results that I want to get. I need to be smart about this. So I had to change my diet. Yes, I can eat plant-based. That's not a problem. But you can eat plant-based junk food as well. And that's what had started to happen because I was burning so much fat. I was enjoying it and I thought I could get away with, eating kind of everything that I wanted. But it wasn't true. My performance started to change and I wasn't getting the results I wanted then. And so I had to ditch the coffee because I had coffee with sugar. And then I had to ditch, the French fries and the gravy and the chips and all of that stuff. I had to get rid of it. I also needed to make sure I was getting sleep. The thing is sleep can be underrated. And I'm going to tell you straight out, you need to get sleep. If you're putting in these large volume of training miles, you need to make sure that you can really live up to your training. So you need to be able to have that recovery by sleeping. So sleeping, eating, time on feet, running in your low heart rate, and making sure that you're keeping the stress in your life low as possible. And this was also a challenge for me because being a real estate agent, it can be challenging at the best of times to make sure that you are in a position of keeping your stress low because you're dealing with deadlines, you're dealing with offer negotiations, you're listing houses, the marketing of it. It's a lot goes into it. I needed to make sure that I could keep that stress level low. And when I didn't, I could see it in my heart rate and I could see it in my training, and I knew that I needed to make some additional changes. In time, I got faster. How much faster did I get? I got 3 minutes faster per kilometer, and I was super happy and grateful for how I was able to achieve that. Now, is everyone going to be able to achieve what I achieved? Yes, and maybe more, and maybe less. We're all different. So your experiences in your training is going to be your training of one. It's super important to remember your training will be determined based on your makeup, right? Your genetics. Environment also plays a factor in that as well. So there's a lot of these other things that play out. So yes, you can get faster, right? So I started off running an 8:34 kilometer pace, and I got it all the way down to 5 minutes and 37 kilometer pace. And this is what they are in miles. And so, yes, it can be achieved. Yes, you need time. You need to have the time to spend to run and train your aerobic engine. And so you need to have the biggest thing ever, and that is why. Why do you want to do this? Why do you want to get out there and run slow and steady? And that's super important. So find your why and then follow your heart. If you like this video, I think you'll certainly like this video here, because that will give you all the tips that you need to get on with your Maffetone training. Have a good one, everyone, and get out and run. See you next week. Bye.